March Madness invades Peoria one more time. New blood in today's first game. Evanston's last Elite Eight trip, 1988. Belleville West, absent since 1966. Evanston and Belleville West next on the IHSA TV network. Spring has sprung here in Central Illinois. The beginning of one season, the beginning of the end for the boys' AA basketball season. Hello and welcome to Carver Arena. I'm Lee Hall. Welcome to downtown Peoria, the capital city of America's original March Madness. 8 teams come downstate, or for Belleville West, upstate, to pursue a state title. Only 4 of those teams will remain after today's quarterfinal action. Quarterfinal number 1, Belleville West taking on Evanston. For the call of today's game, let's go to Tom Stocker and Bill Hitz.
All right, Lee, thank you very much. Here in this first game, Bellevue West and Evanston. Bill, there's 12 losses between these two teams, so they've had their rocky moments, but it seems they're playing their best basketball right now.
You know, Tom, I ran into Coach Prime of Evanston this morning, and he told me one of the things he was most pleased with was how his team had matured in the last month. I think that's probably true of all 8 quarterfinalists down here today.
Now for the Belleville West Maroons, let's take a look and see how they got here to the Elite Eight with some very big victories, avenging regular season losses to East St. Louis Senior. They lost twice in 3 regular season matches to Belleville all tough, but they won it when it counted. And then there was a defensive struggle in the super sectional win over Triad. As for the Wildcats of Evanston, Loyola Academy a victim for the sectional semifinal. Then the Wildcats avenged 2 regular season losses, including one the very last day of the regular season to Niles West to win the sectional, and then down 15 to Hubbard, they came back and win at the United Center 65-61. For the Maroons of Belleville West, they're not one of those flamboyant, slam dunk, fast break basketball teams. Bill, they're really more of a blue collar team, and one of those blue collar workers inside is Sean McPeak.
Yeah, Sean McPeak is really one of the keys for Belleville. They need to keep him on the court a long time because they're not real big. He gives them an inside presence offensively and defensively.
And perhaps Evanston wouldn't be here without this young man, Mike McKinney, 10 of 12 from the field in the super sectional victory. He can light it up.
Yeah, Mike McKinney is a real key for Evanston. He really is their offensive leader. Had a big game against Hubbard, 27 points. Really carried them for a good portion of that game.
It'll be intriguing to see who sets the tempo for this game, Bill. In fact, let's take a look at the keys of the game. First for the Maroons from Belleville West.
Well, Belleville West is going to look to find and contain Mike McKinney. As I said, he's their Evanston's leader offensively. He leads them in assists, leads them in a steal. They really can't afford to have him score 27 points as he did against Hubbard. The second key for Belleville is to make sure that they don't give a taller, deeper Evanston team second shot baskets. They have to minimize the number of putbacks. And thirdly, Belleville West doesn't want to make this a fast game. They're very, very good in their offensive sets. They need to really value the ball on each possession.
Now for Evanston, you take a look. They probably want to force that tempo a bit, Bill.
Absolutely. Coach Prima has a deep bench. He plays 10 kids regularly. They want to make this a 94-foot game, pressure the ball in the backcourt, get the ball up the court for some transition baskets. Another key for them is when they are not running the ball, they need to attack inside out, use some of their height advantage, put some stress on the Belleville defenders. And lastly, they just need to know their roles.
So we are set now for quarterfinal game number 1. Evanston and Belleville West back to meet both teams after we hear this from your local sponsors. And a look outside of Carver Arena, thanks to our friends at JMP Radio. It's not a bad day, spring day outside, but the action's going to heat up inside here in quarterfinal game number 1. The Maroons of Belleville West, the Wildcats of Evanston. Two teams that were actually two schools in the very first state championship back in 1908, or so I'm told. That was one of the few I didn't make. Anyways, expecting a big crowd for two teams that really don't have the big marquee, high-powered names, Bill, but two teams that just play good, tough basketball. Let's meet these two teams. Let's go to Arena Public Address announcer Paul Herzog.
Good afternoon, basketball fans. On behalf of the City of Peoria, the Illinois High School Association, welcome to today's quarterfinal game in Class AA Boys State Championship action. Meeting the Belleville West Maroons, 27-5, against the Evanston Township Wildcats, 21-7. At this time, we ask you to please stand, and before our soloist sings our national anthem, we ask you for a moment of silence to honor the men and women of the United States Armed Services serving throughout the world with this moment of respect. Thank you and thank them. And now, to honor America, please address the flag with your hand over your heart. Remove your caps as Kate Tombaugh, a senior of Streeter Woodland High School, sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's meet the teams. For the Maroons of Belleville West, the 6-foot senior, number 10, Dan Pietroburgo. Number 12, a 5'11 senior, Dumaka Turner. A 6'1 junior, 21, Cortez Lilted. A 6'3 sophomore, 33, Arthur Sargent. 6'3 junior, 35, Darius Carter. 6'3 junior, 41, Brian McGill. And a 6'4 sophomore, 44, Will Jones. The Wildcats of Evanston Township. A 6'5 senior, 4, Clovanis Harper. 6'2 junior, number 12, Preston DaCosta. 6-foot senior, 22, Alex Ford Carther. 6'2 senior, 30, Doug Tykus. 6-foot senior, 33, Elijah Hall. 6-foot junior, 35, Thomas Newt. 6-foot junior, 40, Daryl Rice. And a 6'5 senior, 45, Andre May. And now let's meet the starting lineups. For Belleville West, a 5'11 senior guard, 15, Robbie Kaiser. For Evanston Township, a 6'3 senior, a guard, number 5, Mike McKinney. For the Maroons, a 6'2 junior, 23, J.B. Jones. And a forward for the Wildcats, a 6'2 junior, 11, Dan White. And a guard for Belleville West, a 6'2 senior, 25, Darren Wilson. For Evanston, a 6'5 junior, a forward, 20, Gordon Watt. A 6'3 forward for the Maroons, a senior, 40, Joe Gross. A 6'3 forward, a senior for the Wildcats, 23, Austin Brown. At center for Belleville West, a 6'4 junior, 55, Sam McPeak. And at center for Evanston, a 6'6 senior, 42, Jonathan Blakely. Head coach at Belleville West in his 15th season, a record of 215 and 194, Bill Schmidt. Assistant coaches, Clayton Fisher, Roger Miller, Jesse Swift, Matt Parker, and Ryan Ensley. Head coach for Evanston in his 4th season, a record of 81 and 28, Paul Prima. Assistant coaches, Bob Bast, Todd Gerke, Jerry Murphy, Todd Patterson, and Tom Levatino. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition been generated by March Madness in Illinois. March Madness is an IHSA thing. It always has been and always will be. Fans, please direct your attention to the court. The officials for this game will be Demetrius Randall of Peoria.
J.B. Jones and Wilson out front. White, Watt, Brown, Blakely, who didn't even start his season until mid-February, and Mike McKinney. Both these teams coming in, avenging regular season losses to get here. Now the official presentation of the game ball will be made here at courtside from Dave Cook, Jeff Cook, area dealers of Sport Court, handing off the game ball to our officials. And a ceremonial jump ball from Bill Taylor, member of the March Madness Steering Committee, the group that makes everything happen so wonderfully here in the city of Peoria and makes it a great experience for everybody when they come here for the 2 weekends in March. That's not bad. Now we're doing it for real. Let's take a look at our officials for the game. Our Demetrius Randall, Ronnie Jones, and Jim Sullivan. And we're ready to get quarterfinal game number 1 underway. Evanston wearing the white. Belleville West, well, they're called the Maroons, so I guess it's obvious they're wearing maroon. And the tap won by the Wildcats. They quickly get it down court. Gordon Watt's pass deflected, stolen away by Robbie Kaiser. To the top of the lane, Wilson nearly lost it on the dribble and walked with the basketball, trying to work down low against Mike McKinney.
You know, Tom, that turnover there is not unusual. When you come down here, the kids obviously are feeling a little bit tight. Both coaches can expect a few turnovers early in the game. What's important is that they settle down quickly.
Yeah, the heart's pounding, the stomach's squeezy, the mouth's dry, and those are the coaches. Down underneath, nice shot, weak side. Gordon Watt got it from over across the baseline. Nice assist from McKinney, and Evanston on the board first.
McKinney sees the court so well. They've got to really be conscious of where he is and limit his penetration.
Kaiser overran the basketball and a turnover. Watt into the front court. From the corner. Brown, no. follow-up, getting inside Mike McKinney. The 6'3" senior says, I can do some rebounding too.
Yeah, you know, just what we talked about in our before the ball game. Evanston just looking to hurt them on the boards.
Let's take a look and see where these two schools, two great historical state powers, are located. Evanston in the north suburbs of Chicago, Belleville in the metro area outside St. Louis. A 2-0 Evanston lead, and the Wildcats with a basketball. Jonathan Blakely, stress fracture, sidelined him for most of the season. This was an injury-plagued Evanston team through most of the year. They're healthy, and they're playing the basketball many felt they could have played, were it not for all the nagging injuries they had, including car accidents, torn calf muscles.
You know, one of the things that did for Evanston, Tom, is make them a little bit deeper.
A little too strong for Gordon Watt. They hit the deck, and you're going to see a lot of that in this game. Alternate possession, the ball goes to Belleville West. You're going to see some floor burns in this game today.
Well, both of these teams are very, very aggressive. All the teams that we'll see down here this weekend play very hard, and they get after loose balls. We're looking at Evanston extend the court here. You're going to see them show a couple different kinds of presses, trying to speed up Belleville.
And into the front court, Robbie Kaiser. He's their do-it-all guy. He can score, handles the ball well for Bill Schmidt's ball club. Now out to McPeak, who swings it over to Kaiser. Gets it down low on the block to Joe Gross, but it's out of bounds, and it'll be Evanston ball. And Belleville not really in gear right now as they're looking to get that ball inside.
Yeah, a little out of sync, but that wasn't a bad possession. Even though they turned it over, they rotated the ball a couple times. They want to kind of stretch and make Evanston defend.
It's a 4-0 Evanston lead. White closely guarded there by Kaiser. He usually defends the opposing team's better outside threat. Jonathan Blakely over on the wing to Gordon Watt, and there's a push out on the wing, and it's going to go to Belleville West. Take a look at some of the facts and statistics involving Belleville West, of course, in Belleville, down in St. Clair County, with enrollment just over 2,000. Evanston, up there in the North Shore from Cook County, just over 3,000 there. Representatives from the Southwestern Conference and the Central Suburban Conference. Long one from the wing from White. No good. And coming out of there with the rebound, J.B. Jones. First time we've called his name. On the break, inside layup, good. Darren Wilson on the break, ignited by Jones.
Yeah, you know, Belleville does a good job of pushing the ball.
And a whistle, and down low. Inside, Belleville trying to get a little advantage defensively, comes away and picks up its second foul. The foul charge to Wilson. So it'll be inbounded by Dan White. And this is down low inside Sean McPeak. And this is not a good early sign for Belleville. Number one, they don't have great depth.
Yeah, they don't play a lot off their bench, Tom, and 55 McPeak is really a key for them. They need him in there for 32 minutes.
Already 3 team fouls. Down low on the block. It won't bank it off the glass for Blakely. And the rebound, Darren Wilson. Just over 3 minutes gone in the opening quarter. Belleville tying it up is Sean McPeak inside. He averages just under 10 points a game, but so do 4 other Maroons.
Yeah, he's a big, strong body, does a nice job positioning down low.
And the long jumper is good for Austin Brown. A 6'3" senior getting his first 2. A 6'4" late turnover, steal. Mike McKinney can't hit, and the rebound goes to Kaiser.
Evanston's opened up in a zone press on made baskets, trying to get the ball in non-ball handlers' hands and create some turnovers in the backcourt.
Jones gets it back out front. From the wing, Robbie Kaiser, yes! A 3 for Kaiser, his 71st of the year, and they've got the lead, 7-6.
Yeah, I think they're settling down a little bit, having some confidence in their offense that they can get some touches.
And again, they're really watching it inside the lane. And did McPeak just get his second? Nope, it's going to go to Joe Gross. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick.
We don't know a lot about Belleville West, but what we have learned is that they are a very defensive-minded group. They play very well together. They're unselfish. They spread the ball around. Their scoring averages are very similar. A lot of kids, I think they've had six kids lead them in scoring this year. So they're very balanced attack. I think they work very well together. And obviously, when you look at those kinds of stats, you understand that you're going to be playing a team that has a real fundamental understanding of basketball. And we relish the opportunity to be down here in Peoria, and we're certainly looking forward to knock heads with the kids from Belleville West.
Paul Prima, who looks at this whole thing as a big educational experience, not surprising. He's got 4 kids in his team with 30-plus ACTs.
Yeah, I think Paul really focuses on the right thing. Obviously, everybody down here is trying to win it, but I think he sees it as a great educational experience for not only the kids, but his coaches as well.
As you took a look at those comparisons, you saw Belleville holding their teams under 50 points a game, but a twisting jumper inside. And what a story it's been this year for Quovadas Harper as he gets his first 2. And it looks like a foul, blocking foul in the backcourt defensively in Evanston. They get their first foul of the game as the foul goes to Gordon Watt.
You know, again, we're seeing Coach Prima go to his bench early. He'll play a lot of kids off the bench, trying to keep the tempo on. They trapped that player in the corners and just got a little too close to him, grabbed him instead of making him make a mistake.
Scramble for the loose ball, and in the effort to save it, it's out of bounds. And it'll still be Belleville basketball. Nearly broken up over there on a nice athletic move by Alex Ford Carther and Mike McKinney. Take a look, Belleville West, a third-place team back in 1966, losing to the Silver Streaks of Galesburg in the semifinal. We'll come up with some of the names from those years. There were some amazing performances back then.
There truly was, Tom. We see Evanston now change a little bit on their defense. They came out in a man-to-man instead of a zone.
McPeak knew he was getting fouled, threw up the shot, and looks like he'll go to the line as Gordon Watt picks up his second foul, and he's got both for Evanston thus far. So Sean McPeak will go to the free throw line. He's been their leading rebounder in 7 of their last 9 games, including in a season high all the way back in December, 14 rebounds, and the free throw's no good. Coming in now for the Wildcats is Jonathan Blakely, and he comes in and replaces Watt, who had picked up 2 quick fouls.
You know, Coach Prima has the luxury of being able to switch a number of players offensively, defensively, and just getting them in the game. It's a great luxury for a coach to have.
McPeak misses both of them. Quickly down court. Ford Carther down inside. Twisting shot, no. And the offensive board for Harper, and he scores. Quovadas Harper now with 4. They say that he really causes matchup problems with his size and ball handling ability inside, and he was very athletic there.
I was real impressed when I saw him in the United Center Super Sectional. He really is very, very agile for a big man.
On the move down inside, a hand check foul is called. Looks like Austin Brown just picked up his first, the 6'3" senior.
You know, in every ball game, certainly down here, Tom, it's important that they adjust to the officials.
Evanston looking for its first state championship since the famous '68 state championship team led by Pharaoh Jones, Bob Lackey and company. They're about to be enshrined as a team into the Evanston High School Sports Hall of Fame. Robbie Kaiser will reset the offense again. On the wing, J.B. Jones. Rim short, offensive tip, no. And the rebound to Jonathan Blakely. Quickly on the break, Elijah Hall. And now they'll set up the half court. Quovadas Harper, he's tough to handle inside. Blakely the offensive rebound, and the whistle before he put up the follow-up shot, and looks like he'll go to the line.
Tom, what they're trying to do is get the ball inside, see if they can draw some fouls on McPeak and use some of Quovadas' size.
Already 5 team fouls on the Maroons, and Dumaka Turner, the 5'11 senior, averaging just under 10 points a game off the bench, now has come in. Again, Harper. And the rebound saved on the baseline by Darrell Wilson. Wilson in trouble, but finds an outlet pass to Robbie Kaiser. Kaiser down low on the baseline, but in too deep. The pass kicked out to Turner. The shot, no. He was fouled. The contact, Elijah Hall getting his first. Third team foul on the Wildcats of Evanston.
That was a very well and designed offensive set right there. They did a nice job of screening down low, bringing them across the lane. Got a nice pass out.
They're coming off that season low 39 points allowed to try it in the super sectional victory are the Maroons. And Dumaka Turner gets his first point of the basketball game. A good free throw shooter. You see it's 76%. And it's a 1-point ball game as J.B. Jones comes back in as he replaces Joe Gross. And coming back in, Austin Brown now for Evanston. And the third free throw. It's a tie game. And we're tied at 10-10. Just over 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Ulvadas Harper, does he have the outside touch? He hits the free throw line jumper, and he has got 6 of their 12 points. Belleville has been slowed up a bit by the press. But once they get across court, Bill, they get right into their half-court set. They're not looking for the quick, easy basket.
No, they're very, very patient when they get the ball. Nice blend for Belleville West of pushing and settling and getting into their offense.
Down on the block, Ulvadas Harper picks up his first, and number 4 on Evanston's Wildcats. Starter Dan White comes back in for the Wildcats. You take a look for Paul Prima's team. Season high 91 back on Thanksgiving weekend. A season low 44 against Maine South. Inside, nice reverse layup. Too much spin for Jones. And on the break for Evanston, Austin Brown. Off balance, but he finds Ford Carther open, and he hits the 3.
That's very good recognition, you know, taking the ball in, knowing where to find a shooter. I think Evanston's just a little bit confused on their defensive press attacks right now. Sometimes substituting, you get a little bit confused when you bring a lot of kids in off the bench.
Dumaka Turner and a holding foul down inside. And did Harper just pick up his second? Yep, looked like the big guy, Ulvadas Harper, just picked up his second. But I suppose when you had your face go through a windshield in a car accident, you take such things in stride.
Well, I don't know how you take that in stride, but I know Paul Primus says wonderful things about this young man, and he's a great competitor.
He's had to have a lot of reconstructive surgery on his nose after that accident. And the outside jumper good for Dumaka Turner. And it's a 15-12 ball game, a 3-point lead. Near steal, but regaining it, Austin Brown. Wow, did White have a defender in midair? Darren Wilson was cleared for landing. They lobbed down inside, and McPeak comes away with it. They were looking for Mike McKinney down low.
I think Evanston just needs to be a little bit more patient when they don't have a breakout to get in their offense and go back to strategy, trying to get the ball inside, draw some fouls.
Pop-up jumper, J.B. Jones. He's looking for his first points of the game. Scramble for the ball. White comes out of there with it. Maroon jerseys surround him, and it's a held ball as he was tied up by Turner and Wilson. And the alternate possession gives the basketball to Evanston as Doug Tykus comes in. Tykus, the best stats for him. How about a 31 ACT and a 3.8 GPA?
That's not bad. I think just about any athlete would take that. Any student would take that.
I would have taken that. 16 seconds to go in the opening quarter at Evanston with a 3-point lead. They have led by as many as 5, playing for 1 shot. But taking it down low, McKinney, and he muscled it in. McKinney showing some strength inside.
Yeah, that was a great job. They cleared the side, ran a high screen for McKinney. He just did a great job of getting there.
After 1 quarter, Evanston with its second 5-point lead of the game. Back with the second quarter after this from your local sponsors. Back here at Carver Arena, take a look. Belleville with 4 state titles in basketball. In golf, they got 3. In volleyball, they've got 2. Meanwhile, we take a look as some of the crowd here. And in a basketball game, I guess it's always shirts and skins weather.
You know what? That's the great thing about basketball. You know how to dress, or in their case, undress.
Second quarter underway. Belleville West with its second 5-point deficit of the game. Oh, getting away perhaps with a walk was Turner. Out front, J.B. Jones, and a hand check call. Jonathan Blakely gets his first foul.
You know, Tom, so far in this ball game, these officials have done a great job. They've been very consistent, not letting them put their hands on the dribbler. It's important that players adjust to that, and I'm sure that's one of the things that the coaches had talked about him at the quarter break.
So going to the free throw line is J.B. Jones, and he gets his first point of the basketball game. But while he does lead them in scoring at nearly 15 points a game, they look to him to do so many other things. In fact, he takes so much pride in his defense.
Tom, there's a couple really great defenders on this court. McKinney and J.B. Jones, and they're guarding each other. That's been a great matchup so far.
Blakely, the pass tips through White's hands, and Blakely comes down with it. Broken up by Jones almost. Flashing out now McKinney. He looks and decides now, let's go ahead and set the half court again. Reset the formation. Doug Tykus over on the wing. Now McKinney tried a little crossover move and walked, trying to get the move going.
Again, that's just very good defense on the part of J.B. Jones. That wasn't bad patience for Evanston. A little out of sync, but it's important that you go down there and really get a good possession.
It's easy when you get kids in programs now. They all want to score, dunk, or hit the three. It is tough to get them to do the little things like play tough defense. We got 2 examples here that defense can carry you to the Elite Eight. Boy, look at that physicalness out there for Blakely. And then he got away with a couple of bumps, and finally Blakely whistled. He gets his second.
Yeah, just wasn't a very good decision on his part. He couldn't get his body in front. He was trying to stop the ball, keep it from dribble rotating, but just never got in front of it.
That is now 8 fouls on Evanston. Remember at one time, I believe it was about 5-0 fouls with Belleville with the edge.
Yeah, Tom, part of that is I think Evanston has kind of gotten away from looking to get the ball inside to their big men. That's bothered them, and part of that has been the defensive intensity of Belleville.
McPeak tips it back out front, and Robbie Kaiser will get him in motion. J.B. Jones He has that desire to be the best all-around player that he could be, according to Coach Bill Schmidt. McPeak, but it's broken up. Looked like that was broken up by Ford Carther, the down-court pass. Carther was on the deck, and the loose ball, J.B. Jones. He's always around the basketball.
You know, when you're a team like Evanston, Tom, that likes to run, you're going to get some of those kind of turnovers that you just hope to minimize them.
Jones on the move, pulls up. Still looking for his first field goal of the game. Evanston with a 3-point lead on the break, and it was a pinball game down inside. Bodies colliding on the move down the lane by Austin Brown, and eventually it was Kaiser who wound up on the deck. Jones gets the foul, his first.
Maybe a little bit out of control on that dribble. He did have even numbers on the break, but really I don't think he ever had a good lane to the basket.
Just 6 now on Belleville. So now both teams in the bonus for the remainder of this half. White from long range, short. And Belleville will let the ball go out of bounds, and it'll be Maroon basketball. As for the 6-minute mark here, they trail 17-14. But they can get the ball quickly up court. Nice move inside, and walking Alex Ford Carther. A dangerous move, trying to slip that little reach-in move on there on that spin move, and he got away with it.
Well, they were able to break that press very quickly, and then had a 2-on-1, and Blakely just did a nice job of taking up space down in the lane.
Down inside, White banks it in.
It's a great backdoor pass and cut.
Dan White in the sectionals against Loyola was 11 of 12 from the field. 5.5 minutes to go, as you see in the bottom of your screen. 5-point lead for the 3rd time for Evanston. Kaiser's shot rims out. Blakely the rebound. Austin Brown has an advantage, and that's going to be a charging foul. Drawing the charge was J.B. Jones.
That's a great defensive effort by Jones. Again, just a little bit out of control. You got to get your body in front of that defender before you can take it to the basket.
Mike McKinney checks back in for Evanston, and he replaces Darrell Rice, and also off the bench now Elijah Hall, who took time off from fall basketball to star in the school play. A thespian is Elijah Hall.
That's a wonderful thing. Evanston's back to that full court zone press.
DeMarca Turner, the 5'11" senior, was a starter a year ago for the Maroons, but underwent knee surgery and never really bounced back as strong, and he's played very well, averaging 10 points a game off the bench. It's J.B. Jones. Now we'll back to the center circle with just under 5 minutes remaining. Blocked inside by Blakely. On the run, Elijah Hall. Stripped away. Loose ball inside as McKinney went up, and he's blocked and fouled.
It's a great athletic block by Blakely on that. Just did a wonderful job of filling the lanes. You see there, comes over from the weak side, and now we're running a breakdown down the other end. First stop was great, and then recovered, ball fake, drew the foul. Tom, if Evanston is doing anything wrong defensively, they're really probably too aggressive in their half-court defense, giving some lanes to the basket to the drivers from Belleville.
McKinney misses both free throws. Still a 5-point lead. Maroons of Belleville West with the basketball. They get it down low to McPeak. Nice penetration, great feed from Jones. McPeak gets his second bucket. And a travel call for Evanston, and Belleville will have a chance maybe to make this a tie ball game. Timeout on the floor here at Carver Arena. Evanston with a 3-point lead. Now we'll hear from your network sponsors.
Well, we're going to have to be able to counter their athleticism. We're going to have to be able to keep them off the boards. You know, they've got a lot of different weapons, and if it's going to be an up and down from end line to end line type of game, we're probably going to have a little bit of trouble with them. We're going to have to slow the pace down a little bit make it a possession-by-possession game, and hopefully we can keep them under control.
Bill Schmidt, a lifelong Maroon. He played on their 74 super sectional team that lost by 4 to Breeze Mater Dei, and he's in his 15th year as a head coach. And the man he replaced, Roger Miller, is on his staff. Roger Miller, head coach of that 74 Elite 8 team. So you take a look at the 22-year career, the 15-year. They don't make changes willy-nilly there at Belleville West.
No, and that's great for the program, I think.
And even if your name isn't willy-nilly. Maroons could tie it. They trail by 3. DeMarca Tucker guarded closely by Elijah Hall. Now Kaiser. Tucker. Now J.B. Jones pulls up. Got it. First field goal of the game for J.B. He's got 4. And it's now a 1-point ball game.
Evanston showed a little half-court zone there, looking for places to trap. J.B. Jones did a nice job, penetrated to the open spot at the top of the circle.
They try to get it to McKinney. He's in too deep. Double team, forced the shot, and McPeak's got it. And a chance for the Maroons for their second lead of the game. On the baseline move, traveling called against Darren Wilson.
You know, as a coach, you hate to see that. It happens all the time. You get your motor running before you put the ball down. Your eyes light up if you're an offensive player. You see that lane, and you just got to slow your body down.
Blakely out high, goes in against McPeak. The shot over the heel of the rim. Rebound, BJ. And on the break, here is Kaiser. From the corner, rimming short for Turner. And it's out of bounds, Evanston basketball.
You know, I'll tell you what, if Sean McPeak can keep this up for a full game, Belleville West will be right there. He's doing a tremendous job defending just about every post player that Evanston has sent at him. Just very aggressive, very smart defender.
You may ask, can they do it with 6 players? But they're used to it. They've done it all year. White curls out front. Works on Kaiser. Backs him in. Now they bring it back outside. Ford Carter. McKinney almost deflected by Jones. Open for the jumper. Missing. Elijah Hall. Maroons rebound. Jones ahead to Turner. Now down inside McPeak. Working hard. And they call Blakely for the body. And he just got, I believe, his 3rd. He did.
There were 2 possessions right there, the defensive stop and that offensive possession right there, that were absolutely exceptional for Belleville West.
Take a look. Niles West beat them twice, including that 62-58 game the very last night of the regular season, giving Niles West the conference championship. But in the second season, Evanston got sweet revenge. Free throw is good for Sean McPeak, who's 1 out of 3 from the line. And Andre Main checks in now for Evanston, and Blakely has to take a seat on the bench with 3 fouls and 2 minutes to go in the half. Tie ball game at 19. Just short on the quick break was Ford Carter, and they're going to call it carry.
Right, don't see that a lot. He picked it up to avoid the defender. The last several possessions, Tom, Evanston has been coming down and has been trying to initiate offense and off the dribble. They really need to do a better job of passing, cutting, and looking to score that way.
Maine strong on the shot. Look at all the maroon jerseys underneath on the defensive boards. Here's McPeak. He's on the loose. Cross court to Turner. Jones long on the 3. And in the battle for the rebound, the foul is going to go to Mike McKinney. And McKinney just got his first. Double bonus situation now.
Yeah, I think, again, the intensity that both teams have been playing with, I'm a little surprised Belleville hasn't been in a little bit more foul trouble, but they've done a much better job up to this point than Evanston, keeping the dribblers out of the paint.
Wilson, free throw shooting for him is like a stint in the Navy. It's an adventure. 44% on the year, but he makes the first. And that is just the second lead for Belleville. First time they've led since 7-6. Well, they weren't pretty, but they counted. 21-19. Out front, Dan White works against Kaiser. Picked up his dribble and picked up the pivot foot.
Evanston right now is just really kind of out of sync offensively. They're running a little flex motion offense. And again, they're looking to beat the defender off the dribble to get into the paint and just not having any success doing that.
And a Belleville team that didn't panic when down 3 times by 5. Now a chance here for a 5-point lead perhaps, but looking for the short 2. Jones, no good. And a strong rebound for Evanston's Andre Main. McKinney threading his way through, finds Hall wide open, but the shot's too long. The deflection goes back to Hall, and over the back was Main to get the foul.
Yeah, both teams going very aggressively to the basket. Bodies are flying.
Bill Schmidt. We take a look. Belleville has won 11 of its last 12. Last defeat was their second loss of the year to rival Altop on February the 15th. They had some knockdown dragouts there in the metro area in the Southwestern Conference.
When you get to this really mid-February on, every game becomes important for the development of the team. And these teams that get down here, as I said earlier, they're very mature. They're really battle-tested.
McPeak, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. He's got 7, 23-19. The 4-point lead is the biggest for Belleville West.
You know, I think what's important right now is that Evanston runs a good offense, gets an opportunity to take the last shot, maybe go in down 1 or down 2.
Remember, no shot clock in high school basketball. Whoa, very close. McKinney nearly palmed it. And driving all the way to the hoop, Elijah Hall for his first 2 of the game. And a turnover, and Evanston with a chance maybe for the lead with 8.5 seconds to go in the half.
You know, they're bringing in Quovatis off the bench, Harper off the bench, and they do that a lot. They'll bring in offensive and defensive substitutions, kind of like a football team will. Certainly, one of the things they're going to try to do is get the ball in his hands in the paint.
He replaced Main as McKinney with 4, with 2. Stolen away as the buzzer sounds, and at halftime, it's the Maroons of Belleville West, who trailed through most of the first half, trailing by 5, 3 different occasions, 15-10, 17-12, and 19-14. But they have the lead at halftime by 2. Let's send it over now to our sideline counterpart, Lee Hall.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot. We're with Bill Schmidt. His team leads here by 2. Coach, you guys got down 5, maybe struggled a little against that pressure early, but you got it turned around.
Well, they're a world of athleticism over there. We try to make it a half-court game. When we've kept them in a kind of a set offensive situation, we've guarded them pretty well.
All right, good luck to you second.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, back to you, Tom.
All right, Lee. And Bill's just not really saying, I can't really control what they're doing. We're going to try to keep it and keep the tempo the same way we have all season long. Take a look. Halftime score. Belleville West is up. Let's hear now from your network sponsors.
Back to Carver Arena. It's a 23-21 Belleville West lead here at the half, and we are joined by some very big supporters of Belleville West High School, the cheerleaders. Woo! What's a maroon?
A devil.
Huh?
Devil.
A devil?
It's not our mascot.
A maroon is anything you would like it to be.
Okay, what a maroon. I remember Bugs Bunny saying that all the time. What a maroon. Tell me about tell me your name and what you guys have been doing to get ready for this week.
Well, we've been.
You flunk. What's your name and tell me what you've been doing to get ready for this week.
My name's Brandy,
Very good.
and we've been practicing a lot and sleeping for our rest for the bus ride.
You're supposed to sleep on the bus. What do you guys been doing at school? What about getting ready? And I mean, what kind of preparations, pep rally, any of that?
We've been being really school spirited around school and telling everybody to come to the games and selling tickets and stuff and decorating the boys' locker room and
Having fun.
How about do you guys compete? Are you guys in any competitions during the summer, that kind of thing?
This year we took a year off because we have a new coach this year, but usually we do compete and we do very well actually.
Well, let's see how well you do. Let's give us a good Belleville West cheer here. A really good one now.
Hello, Denise Martin. Hi, how are you?
All right, way to go. Good job, ladies. Thank you. Good luck to you. All right, bye-bye. The Belleville West cheerleaders. All right, we're going to kind of position ourselves. Let's step right over here. We didn't want to stand in their way. I've got the principals from both school. On my right is Belleville West Dr. Philip Silsby, and this is Denise Martin. I'm left-eared, so we're going to start with you, Denise. Tell me about what's been going on at Evanston this week. It's been a long time since you've been to state.
We've been thrilled. I think the biggest thing that has made this so exciting is next Wednesday we're having our Athletic Hall of Fame, and the first team to get in is our 68 champs. So this has just been a great kickoff to have regionals and sectionals and then super sectionals in our area. We're off the chart at Evanston.
Some of the other folks, Ted Wheeler of 52 track and field. Remember, the Olympic team is going in. Lamont Frazier. There's a lot of big names going in along with that 68 team.
Absolutely. We're very proud of our school and our team.
Somebody is doing something right at Evanston High School. When you talk about the basketball team, 4 of the kids have ACTs of 30 or higher.
Well, as you can see, there's a nice article in the Tribune today that really talked about our effort on academics, and Paul Prima has just been a jewel, and he's bought into it, and we want our kids to do well all the way around.
All right, Denise, thank you. This is Dr. Philip Silsby of Belleville West High School. Tell me about the excitement level down south coming down here today.
We're really excited, and it's a special year. This is our last year at our current campus. We're going to a brand new high school, and what a way to go out to make the state tournament. We haven't been here in 37 years, and that's great.
I was just talking to Mr. Turner, the coach of the 66 team, a few minutes ago. Tell me about the excitement level, just as far as the community goes, and kind of maybe some of the old timers coming out and supporting you guys.
We've had great support. A lot of the retirees and those who played basketball in the past have all come and joined us and rallied around the sport. The town's been great, all the local high schools as well. We're just very proud to represent Southern Illinois.
We had the Belleville Altoff girls in the AA tournament a couple weeks ago, and I know that's a great rivalry down there. Tell me about what else is going on at Belleville West High School. What else should we know other than the fact that you got a darn good basketball team this year?
Well, our dance team just won first place in the state, and our chess team just won second place 2 weeks ago. So we've been on a high the last couple weeks, so we're really proud of everyone.
Tell me about a lot of schools now are going through financial crises. What kind of things do you guys face? What kind of things are you trying to do to maybe combat those problems?
Well, we're like every other school in the state. We're facing financial problems. We're just trying to look at what we're doing and try to use our money in the best way possible and rally the support around our new school.
And nothing better than taking care of kids and helping them along.
That's what we're supposed to do, is take care of our kids, and we're glad to be able to do that.
Thanks you both for joining us. Good luck to both of you. Unfortunately, one of you is going to have to leave, and that's the worst part about all this. But thanks for joining us anyway. Back with more from Carver Arena after these local messages.
Welcome back to Carver Arena. Halftime with Belleville West leading by 2. And in that first half, Belleville trailed through most of the first half, Bill. But as we take a look at the statistics in the ball game, they didn't let their poor shooting slow them down. They didn't shoot well in the first half, but they let their defense and their rebounding work for them.
Yeah, I think defensively, if I'm Coach Schmidt, I can't be any prouder than than I am right now. Defensively, they did a great job keeping any kind of penetration from Evanston in their half-court set. I think that's when you can hold a team to no free throws during a whole half. You've got to be moving your feet defensively. I think another key stat there is 16 rebounds. They're giving up some big inches to Evanston, and to out-rebound them 16-12 is huge.
Take a look at some of the other stats from the first half. Turnovers, Belleville West again, uncharacteristically, they like to take care of the basketball. They pride themselves in that, and they have the lead despite having 2 more turnovers than the Wildcats.
Well, you know, Evanston has really done a great job pressuring Belleville West. They've caused those turnovers. The problem is, I think, with 11 turnovers to only have 8 points, you really need more than that. So I know what Coach Prime is probably talking about right now is to be a little bit more patient after they get the ball.
Individually, Sean McPeak leads with 7, while DeMarca Turner with 5 for Evanston. Wilvatus Harper with 6 big first quarter points. In fact, he had half of their first 12 points. And Mike McKinney with 4. And we've still got 2 great quarters of basketball yet to come here at Carver Arena. Coming up, quarter number 3 in our first quarterfinal game after we hear from our local sponsors. Belleville West a 2-point lead as we're moments away from the start of the third quarter. Tom Stalker, Bill Hitt with you here at courtside, and let's send it over now to our courtside colleague, Lee Hall.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot. We're with Paul Prima. Coach, what'd you tell your team there at halftime?
We got to hang in there. We had a lot of adversity in this first half. Unfortunately, we had to play much of the first half without our best guys. We went 11 deep in the first half, tried to just stop the bleeding wherever we could. And obviously they scored a bunch of fouls, or a bunch of points in the foul stripe, so we got to do a better job cleaning that up. So we've got some work to do, and we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done.
All right, Coach, good luck to you. Thanks. Paul Prima, back to you, Tom.
All right, Lee, thank you very much. Let's take a look now. Action from the first half of this game. Early, it was Evanston with some toward outside shooting. There's the nice 3 from Robbie Kaiser. But Evanston showed they could answer, coming back with a 3 of their own. Down inside, Dan White getting inside. He's also normally been a good outside shooter, but Sean McPeak leading them with 7 points, getting inside. And all the way to the glass was Elijah Hall for his only 2 of the first half. And a 23-21 lead with 2 quarters yet to go. The last 2 quarters for one of these 2 teams this whole season is coming up after we hear from your network sponsors. A look from outside Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria, 12 stories above downtown, as our view from outside provided by JMP Radio Group, as they give us a look at the home of America's original March Madness here in downtown Peoria, Carver Arena. Yeah, folks, that term started here with a poem by H.V. Porter of the Illinois High School Association, and it was also written in the middle of World War II, perhaps appropriate with what is happening now. So we've got 16 more minutes to go. The inbounds pass tipped away by J.B. Jones, and it's going to be Evanston ball. J.B. thought it deflected off of McKinney's hands. He did a lot of selling, but the men in black and white didn't buy it.
You know, Evanston did not do a good job of coming to meet that pass. They've had several of those in the first half. I think they need to just be a little bit more careful. Belleville's good defensively. They've got to go meet the passes, shorten the passing lanes a little bit.
Kind of an off-balance reverse jumper in the lane by Austin Brown, but he's fouled, and looks like he'll be going to the free throw line. The first foul of the second half will be charged on J.B. Jones, who gets his second.
You know, again, I think one of the things that Evanston needs to do to be successful in this ball game today is look to get the ball in the paint. They couldn't do it on their dribble penetrations. I think they need to just be a little bit more patient, look to set up their big men, Harper, Blakely, in the paint, get them the ball.
That's the first free throw attempt of the game for Evanston. And Brown makes 1 out of 2. And it's a 1-point ball game.
Evanston back in their zone press on inbounds. They're looking for one quick trap in a corner, then they recover to a man-to-man.
That's when they seem to have their most success in the first half.
Well, you know, it gives everything a slightly different look. It makes different people handle the ball.
Joe Gross from the corner, cutting down the lane. Darren Wilson. Kaiser. Nobody drew the foul, and he'll be shooting 3 at the line.
That's their second time they fouled a three-point shooter. You know, just when you are closing out on a shooter like that, Tom, it's key that your last step propels you up and not out. And you know, it's easy to say that when you're sitting and watching. It's a little bit more difficult to do.
Kaiser, a 62% free throw shooter, and he hits his first attempt of the game, and he's got 4. Invariably, those fouls are always because you've been beaten on defense, because you're lunging at the three-point shooter and your momentum carries you into it.
Yeah, or you're coming from the help side, where you know, maybe you're doing your job and someone isn't, and you go to help out.
Guys are trying to make 2 out of 3 in this trip, and he does. He's got 5 and a 25-22 lead for Belleville West. Austin Brown dumps it off down low, and it's out of bounds to the Maroons.
That time we had some good penetration. Maybe should have got it up on the glass, but again, unselfishly looking for that pass off.
In the backcourt, J.B. Jones, as he is defended man-on-man by Dan White. Kaiser with McKinney on him. Now Gross, now J.B. Jones. Down inside, it's up and in for Sean McPeak. You know, yesterday Bill Schmidt said he doesn't look like much sometimes, but he plays better than he looks.
Well, you know, that was just a great execution offensively. They ran a cross screen down low, and McPeak has great hands and good balance.
The shot won't go for McKinney, and Jones had it on the deck, and they're going to call it a held ball. And the alternate possession arrow will give the ball to West.
You know, I think Evanston, if I'm reading their faces, just a little bit frustrated offensively. They've had some good looks. They haven't gone down. It's really important that they keep the belief that they're going to be able to get that ball in the basket. There's not a lid on it. They just need to keep doing what they're doing offensively. I think they've had a better start.
And now you can feel Belleville's confidence growing with every minute as they have their largest lead, a lead of 5. J.B. Jones down inside to Gross for the reverse layup. Excellent assist, and Gross gets his first 2.
Yeah, they ran a little high screen. They've been bothering Evanston with that, and they were confused on the switch, who's guarding who, left a man open.
McKinney gets himself open, and the 3 rims out. Jones the rebound. Kaiser almost walked with the basketball. Now Jones. McKinney forces him to the baseline. The shot rims. Oh, but look at Jones come up with a rebound. Kaiser with a 19-footer, no. And the rebound for big Pulvadas Harper. And then a collision. And that one's going to be called a charge on Gordon Watt, and he gets his third.
You know, a little out of control. I think he's arguing the case that he might have been bumped before. Let's take a look at that. Comes down, no doubt about it. He's coming down very quickly, but look, he's no. I think they made the right call, Tom.
It's amazing. The replay usually shows that. Belleville West leads by 7. Let's now hear from your local sponsors.
Jerry Turner, the coach. What do you remember from '66, Coach?
Well, I remember placing third and having a great time.
Tell me about this guy next to you.
This is Joe Wiley. He was the star of that team. He set a state tournament scoring record that year with 128 points in 4 games.
Joe, this must bring back some good memories for you coming back here today.
Well, it certainly does. It was really a thrill as a high school kid. It's every high school basketball player's dream to play in the state tournament. I was fortunate enough to do so with a great coach here that really supported us. We had a great team, and I was fortunate enough to break the tournament scoring record.
Now, players always want to play. I'm guessing you'd like to put on the maroon and get back out there today yourself. Yes or no?
Absolutely, but there's 60 pounds between me and the court.
The truth hurts. You guys are up 7. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, some of Belleville West's great past here watching the present here today. Tom, back to you.
Here's Jones. He hits the 2-pointer, a long 2-pointer for Jones.
Tom, that was just an exceptional possession right there for Belleville West.
By the way, I'll tell you a bit about Joe Wiley in a moment. There's a steal by Belleville in the semifinal loss to Galesburg. Belleville scored 64. He scored 37.
That's a ton.
Good gracious. This is now, by the way, a 17-3 run for West since the second quarter. Blocked by, inside by, was it McKinney? Here is the Wildcats on the run. Behind the back move by Brown. White, he can go inside, and he gets the roll.
You know, Evanston, Coach Prima is really trying to get them to run on every opportunity. He just doesn't want to come down and run a set offense. He wants to score in transition.
That ended, by the way, an 8-0 run for Belleville West. McKinney gets the foul, his second, and it is the third of the second half for the Wildcats. Harper and White come out for Evanston. Gordon Watt checks in. Here's McPeak, and he was off balance, and he turns it over on the travel.
That might be the first thing that he's done wrong in about 2.5 quarters.
Belleville West a 7-point lead. Their biggest has been 9. They trailed by as many as 5 in the first half. Nothing but net for Mike McKinney. His first points since the first quarter, and it's a 31-26 ball game. Wide open, Kaiser. He got it, a 3. Kaiser's second of the game. He's got 8, and it's an 8-point lead.
And he didn't have to worry about stepping on the line on that one. That was back about NBA height.
And a whistle against the Maroons. This one's going to be on Jones. J.B. Jones gets his third. Second of the half. J.B. Jones, the do-it-all player for Belleville. Nice jump pass down low. Can Blakely do something with it? He got fouled. The shot was short as McKinney hits the deck right at the feet of McPeak.
You know, I think when they do get into their offense, Evanston is looking to get the ball inside, which is important. they're just not being very successful finishing right now, and I think that's a good deal has to do with Belleville West. Their interior defense has been really good.
I know coaches who have talked about that philosophy. First point of the game for Blakely, by the way, is a two-chance system. You get the shot, maybe the bucket, or you get a foul and free throws. As Turner comes in now, replacing Wilson.
Yeah, Tom, and the other thing it does is it often opens up your perimeter because you just start getting help from the outside. You can pass that ball outside to your shooters.
Maroons with the ball and a 7-point lead, looking to go to tomorrow's first semifinal game. And we'll have it for you at 11 o'clock right here on your IHSA network affiliate. With the score now, the pace of the game really is favoring the Maroons in a 5-second turnover violation. But really, with the Maroons with the lead, it's playing more into their philosophy.
Yeah, you know, they're coming down, running clock. You certainly don't want a 5-second call, but just their patience offensively. You know, they started the ball game, a couple quick turnovers, then they got back into the rhythm of what they'd like to do.
And the pass airmailed right by Watt and right to McPeak's hands. And here's Kaiser. And contact out front as Kaiser is blocked, and the foul goes to Carther, Ford Carther, I should say. His first and the fourth on Evanston. You would say Evanston can keep their composure. After all, they were down 15 to Hubbard. But even Paul Prima said, hey, 3 timeouts in the first quarter of that game. Now that was panic.
Right, right. You know, I obviously there's plenty of time to be back in this ball game. You just got to do it one possession at a time, and you don't want to try to do it by yourself.
Jones kicks it off. Kaiser had a notion, but now Turner. And Kaiser, the quarterback of this offense. Jones, the blue-collar worker of this Belleville West basketball team. Again, no shot clock. You've got to just keep advancing the ball. And avoid the 5-second defense. Tapped away from behind by Watt, but it goes out of bounds. As unable to save it was Ford Carther. Good hustle. A quick tap from the backside. Broke that ball free.
You know, Coach Prima uses Ford Carther on defense quite a bit. He goes to White a little bit more offensively. He did a great job against Hubbard, pressuring the ball in the super section. He's doing a nice job here.
Well, Ford Carther suffered a torn calf muscle at the Proviso West Holiday Tournament. He didn't return till mid-February. And a turnover and a steal, but a first, a whistle. And this is going to be on J.B. Jones. He just got his 4th. And suddenly, a collective deep breath taken down in the Metro St. Louis area in Belleville.
You know, he has been so instrumental in this ball game for what he does on both ends of the court. It'll be important for Belleville that they play the next 4 or 5 minutes real well without him.
He leaves with 1:39 to go in the quarter. Darren Wilson checked in to replace him. And a 5-second defense will turn it back over to Belleville. And defense is what has carried this Maroons team through thick and thin this year.
You know, you look at that, you know, maybe without knowing Evanston, and you say, why is he dribbling that much? One of the focal points of their attack is to try to beat the point guard off the dribble and get it in the lane for dish-offs.
Gross. His shot partially deflected. Loose on the baseline. Coming up with it is Turner. And he hits the baseline jumper. He's got 7. Right place, right time for Dumaka Turner, the 5'11 senior. A 9-point lead, equaling the biggest of the game for Belleville West. McKinney inside, forced it up, didn't have enough. Blakely, the strong rebound. He muscles it up. It won't go, but he'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2. Nope, it's going to be out of bounds, they were indicated.
Little bump when he was down there before he could get the ball up towards the basket.
McPeak picked up the foul. Number 5 on the Maroons. And Quilvadas Harper checks in for Evanston. And Blakely checks out. Those are 2 of the central injury figures for Evanston this year. Harper, who also suffered the loss of his grandmother. He was her primary caregiver as well. The jumper no good. McPeak has a nose for the rebound.
You know, McKinney has just struggled a little bit. You start to question your shot selection. That time it was a good shot. I thought he went up pretty strong.
On the sidelines was Wilson, and it turns it over to Evanston with just under 38 seconds for the quarter. And Blakely comes back in, and Harper limping a bit as he heads to the Evanston bench. Also checking back in is Darrell Rice, and he's in replacing McKinney, who's got 2 fouls.
Coach looked at him, he said, "You got 1 minute, get ready."
On the wing, Darrell Rice. Lost it on the sidelines, and suddenly turnovers from both sides, play getting a little sloppy.
Yeah, you know, you start to see the clock and get your body going faster than it should. I think that time was a simple matter of taking his eyes off the ball.
Pressure to the backcourt is Turner. Will they beat the 10-second count? Sliding and diving and getting the foul. Instead, Gordon Watt, as he slid hard into DeMarca Turner. Well, we told you you're going to see floor burns in this game. And instead of getting the ball, Watt just got his 4th. Watch it again.
You know, just Evanston pressuring full court, comes in, ball's loose. You know, a hard effort trying to go for the ball. Probably not the right decision to make. It was going to be a 10-second call, but you can't fault a young man for going after the ball when it's loose like that.
Austin Brown checks in, replacing Gordon Watt for Evanston. They trail by 9 with 13 seconds to go. And it'll be an inbounds play for Sean McPeak. And in the battle to get position inside, Ford Carther is called for the hold. He gets his 2nd. And 6 now on Evanston. The next one puts the Maroons into the bonus.
You know, again, just very aggressive man-to-man defense. The officials are trying to, you know, not give anybody an advantage. That's really the key. You don't want to give the offense or the defense an advantage, but you know, they're working hard.
The key as much isn't the contact, Bill, as much as you just said, an advantage gained by the play. Here's Kaiser inside. Oh, he throws it up. It goes down. He hits the deck. Kaiser, the first Maroon in double figures, and it is good. A 3-pointer at the buzzer for Alex Ford Carther, his 2nd 3 of the game. Holy smokes, after turnovers at Kimball, suddenly 2 electrifying plays to end the quarter. We'll be back with what should be a dynamite 4th quarter after we hear this from our network sponsors.
Yes, sir. All we have to do is box them out and keep keying on them, and just jump. That's the main thing we got to do, because they're great athletes, and I'm pretty sure they can leap just as good with anybody. So if you put a body on them and box them out, you shouldn't have no problem doing that. That would be the key to winning.
All right, well, the Evanston fans, they're down 8, but they love that last shot, and I found some of Dan White's personal fans here. They love him so much they gave him the shirt off their backs. Why do you guys, why just for Dan White?
Because he got a flame. He's the best three-point shooter on the team. I mean, he's a pimp. He's a pimp. He's going to bring us back.
All right. Now, at Ohio State, when you dot the I, that's considered to be an honor in the band. Is it the same thing being the period?
We didn't want to get him confused with Dwight, so we just put D. White, so everyone would know.
All right, Tom, they have invited you to come up here and be a part of the group. I asked them if they'd like you to come up, and they declined.
Believe me.
They don't want me either.
No. I like groups that do abbreviations, though. They do abbreviations well. Let's see if that 3 at the buzzer sparks the Wildcats, who have the first possession. It goes in for Gordon Watt. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line for the 3-point play.
2 or 3 huge plays in a row. The layup at the end of what seemed to be the end of the quarter, then the three-pointer, and now we see him, Gordon Watt, just driving. He just muscles it up. He goes strong, gets a couple friendly bounces. This big free throw, that might have helped Evanston.
And the free throw is good. And suddenly now, what was a 9-point ball game is now a 5-point game.
You know, it's huge. Scoring, putting balls in the basket just makes everything easier on the basketball court. It sounds silly, but you know, sometimes you believe there's a lid on that basket.
Kaiser, defended by McKinney. And a little contact there on the move, Blakely.
Belleville West has done, Tom, just a wonderful job of running that high screen. Evanston has defended it well some of the times, but they just get they're just not quite sure. Are they supposed to stop the ball? Are they supposed to switch back? We see that indecision that cost Blakely on that foul.
4 now for Blakely. And the free throw is good for Turner. He is a perfect 4 for 4 from the line as Harper comes in replacing Blakely. Both Blakely and Watt for Evanston with 4 fouls in today's contest. Turner's second, and he stays perfect at the line, and he has got 9.
Well, it's a 7-point lead. J.B. Jones is out of the ball game with 4 fouls for Belleville. They really, if you're Belleville, you want to keep it somewhere in the 5-6 range and try to get 2 or 3 minutes off the clock before you have to go to them.
Austin Brown now with 5, and the lead's down to 5. And again, all this while J.B. Jones sits on the bench with 4 fouls.
I think we'll see Belleville try to come down and take a little time off the clock.
Gross over to Kaiser on the wing. Bad pass, and Harper comes up with a steal. Releasing is McKinney, and he puts it home with a flush. He's got 8, and look out, here come the Wildcats. They're down by 3. Charge called against Turner.
Yeah. Good position. We're going to get a timeout here.
And the orange and blue section comes to life here at Carver Arena. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. Take a look, Evanston. I saw a quote from John Reel, athletic director, 50 state championships in Evanston's storied tradition. Remember, Evanston was a participant in the first ever state basketball playoffs at Oak Park YMCA 1908. So was Belleville. Belleville state titles. They had a great baseball program there in the late 40s and 50s. That was not basketball that we had listed earlier. It is baseball, along with golf, and 2 volleyball championships on the girls' side. Ford Carther inbounds at the big guy. Harper, turnaround shot, no. And a big rebound there for the guard, Robbie Kaiser.
Well, Bill Schmidt from coach of Belleville made the decision he's got to go to J.B. Jones with 6 minutes to go. I'm sure that's a little bit earlier than he would like to, but you just need his presence on the court.
Here is J.B. back out to Kaiser. With him on the bench, their lead went from 9 down to 5. They did get a lead as big as 11 with him on the bench, however. Gross over to Kaiser. Here's McPeak. He got bumped. No. Wipe off the bucket. He traveled.
I was curious to see if we were going to get an offensive foul on that, but he must have shuffled his feet before the contact.
And a chance for Evanston to perhaps tie. They get it down low inside, and scoring Gordon Watt. He's got 7, 5 in this quarter, and it's a 1-point game. And in the backcourt, contact and a foul.
You know, when you full court zone press like they just did, as a coach, you want them to get close to the offensive player, but not so close they can step in between, because what we saw there is exactly what happens. You have to foul them because you've given them a step in between.
Foul is on Watt, and he has fouled out of the game. Watt has fouled out. And right when he had begun to take over, scoring 5 of his 7 in this quarter.
I think there's some confusion on who committed that foul. Was it?
Well, they signaled 2-0 clearly the very first time.
Some confusion on whether it was Ford Carter or on Watt.
Now, Paul Prima obviously does not believe that it was Watt that committed that foul. It was in the backcourt right after the bucket by Watt. Well, they're giving Paul an opportunity to make his case.
Well, I think it's good that they did. The two officials, the officials really want to get it right, and I think what they did, they talked it to one another. They determined the foul was on 20, and that's just what you're going to have to live with, Coach.
So Watt will foul out with 5:33 remaining in the game.
Yeah, Blakely re-entering the game time also with 4 fouls. So they're the inside people for Evanston are definitely going to have to play smart for the next 5.5 minutes of this ball game.
So there goes Gordon Watt, the 6'5" junior. All this with a 1-point ball game, and Robbie Kaiser at the free throw line. Kaiser now with 11 points, and he's 3 of 4 from the line. Has not shot that well from the line this year. It's amazing you guys who can nail that 3, but you make him stand still at the free throw line.
He's had some big baskets tonight.
Oh, he's got 12. 3-point lead for Belleville West. 5.5 minutes to go. Boyd Carter pulls up. Got it. Make that Austin Brown, I'm sorry. Austin Brown with 7. 2 of those buckets in this period. Again, a 1-point ball game. Crowd coming alive at both ends. Just when it looked like Belleville was going to open it up. They had an 11-point lead. Kaiser long on the 3 off the mark. And Blakely the rebound. And he throws it out of bounds looking for Alex Ford Carter. They're trying to release every time they get that ball on a deep rebound at the defensive end.
You know, it is just one of the things that occurs when you push the ball offensively. You know, you want to look up. You've been told by your coaches you want to score in transition. Just sometimes you have to make a better decision.
Elijah Hall back in, replacing Blakely. And this game is no place for the faint-hearted. If you don't like contact, this is not a game to play here today. Getting slowly off the deck is Kaiser. Foul is on Ford Carter, his 3rd.
And we've seen a couple of things occur with this game situation. You have J.B. Jones now not guarding McKinney. McKinney's being guarded by DeMarca Turner. We'll see. McKinney's got a pretty decent height advantage. See if he can come down and maybe post him a little bit or get into the paint. And the other thing that we've seen is just a little bit of an upturn, if that's safe to say, in terms of the intensity on the press on the part of Evanston.
One of the best juniors in the state, his coach calls him, but Kaiser, his 2nd free throw miss of the game. Evanston the ball, trailing by 1. And this is an Evanston team that has played in front of some big-time places. Those 2 big battles against New Trier at Welsh Ryan Arena. 15,000 total for those 2 games. The rebound stripped away from Harper by Kaiser. And Kaiser's bowled over. and fouled by Ford Carter.
Well, Tom, on that, J.B. Jones got his hand on that ball when Harper was going up strong, made a clean block of it. That's one of those things you replay in your mind if you're Coach Prima. That should have been a layup, missed it. Should have been a putback, and J.B. Jones made a great defensive play on that.
And changed the foul to Hall, not Ford Carter. Kaiser at the free throw line. And suddenly now, he's missed 2 in a row at the line. His top of the key 3 with 24 seconds left in the sectional finals against Altstaff. But the Maroons ahead to stay in that game. The season high this year, 24 early in the year against Mascoutah. Free throw good. He leads them with 13. 2-point lead for the Maroons. The Wildcats of Evanston with the basketball. Ford Carter now back out to Brown. We're just about halfway through the final quarter. The winner goes to the semifinals. The loser packs up the gear. At the free throw line, missing for Hall, and then crashing the boards hard, looking for the rebound, and the foul is going to go on Turner, DeMarca Turner. He got his 3rd.
You know, that was a foul. It was a very aggressive foul. He's down there trying to keep Mike McKinney off the boards. Didn't use his hand, was called for using too much body on that, just moved him out with his hips.
Mike McKinney, the 6'3" senior. Well, that was reminiscent of that Ohio State free throw in the Big Ten tournament. The freshman makes his first of the year. He banked it in. He almost banked that one in there. He has to settle for 9, a 1-point ball game. And it's out of bounds to Evanston.
Great hustle play by McKinney on that. Missed his free throw, just never quit on that play.
Fans in maroon and orange and blue on the edge of their seats are standing here at Carver Arena. And a timeout on the inbounds play called by Evanston. We've still got 3:53 remaining. It's a 1-point game. Now this from your network sponsors. It's about 4 minutes to go in somebody's season here as Belleville West leads by a point. You can see they've got 2 full timeouts left. The Wildcats have 1. Foul situation. Evanston's already put Belleville West into the double bonus. 2 more for the Maroons. Will do likewise for Evanston. Not surprising right now, building this game, 35 total turnovers, and also not surprising, both teams shooting 46% or under for the game.
No, not at all. This game has been played at just a really frenetic pace. Great deal of intensity. These last 4 minutes, both teams have to be very careful with what they do with the ball.
Elijah Hall inbounds it all the way out front to Mike McKinney. At one point, the Wildcats were down by 11. Then came that miracle 3 at the buzzer at the end of the 3rd quarter. Forcing it inside is Harper. And that guy, as big as he is, you can't help but draw contact.
They've done a very nice job on that possession, having a concept of where they wanted the ball to go. They started with McKinney up there on the point, brought it to the wing, and then brought Harper across the lane.
Wilson just got his 4th. And Quavadas Harper with the free throw. He's now got 7. Harper has had some big moments. That was really beginning to come into his own right before that automobile accident. He hits both free throws. He's got 8. And it's a 1-point lead for Evanston. And a timeout called by Evanston after taking away possession.
You know, that's one of those choose your poison, Tom. It's Evanston's last time out, but with every single possession being so huge, you can't fault that young man on the floor. He used his head, called the timeout. They have a possession. They have an opportunity to go up by 3 or more on this.
We've got more coming up. This ought to be a heck of a battle. The highest rated team left alive, the Peoria Lions, against Von Steuben, who is in the Elite Eight for the first time since 1938. And of course, Peoria, the first ever state champion back in 1908. The band from Wabansie Valley is rocking and rolling here at Carver Arena. I think they're having a good time.
I can't imagine anyone coming down here not having a good time. The band, the kids that are not participating, that are just here watching. This is really where basketball people want to be in March.
It's a basketball junkies heaven here.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Absolutely. And if the next 3 quarterfinals are anything like this one, you're going to see great basketball games played.
Paradise for gym rats, folks. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the exclusive entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast sales is strictly prohibited. Off the inbound play, McKinney with the jam. And it's a 3-point Evanston lead. McKinney now with 11.
He's been quiet offensively, but what a huge play.
It's a 5-0 run right now for Evanston, and their biggest lead in a while.
Evanston really did a nice job that time switching.
Dumaka Tucker can't hit, and Jones battling for the rebound. The whistle blew, and I think for a moment Jones's heart just skipped a beat. He's playing with 4.
You got 3 people down there, and they're all going up at the same time. It was a tough call.
Foul is on. Let's double check it. Foul goes to Wilson. Joe Gross checks back in for the Maroons, and at the free throw line, Elijah Hall, and the first one's good. Earlier this year, Elijah Hall saw a car commercial, and it helped his shooting. He saw the commercial that said wider is better, and he says, hey, I need a wide base to help get my shots down. He hits them both.
Got to get inspiration where you can find it, huh?
Jones into the front court. Maroon fans wanted a block on McKinney, but there is a foul down on the baseline.
They got the block on Harper instead. A lot of contact going down the court. Again, officials look for advantage, disadvantage, and they didn't really think there was an advantage on that one.
Since trailing 43-41, it's now a 7-0 run for Evanston. And trying to stop that is J.B. Jones. His given first name, Joybray. Combination of his mother's and father's name, and they just figured J.B. was easier to say. He missed a clutch free throw there, his first miss of the game. Jones with just 4 in the contest so far. And he now has 5. 4-point Evanston lead, just under 3 minutes to go.
Now we see Evanston now going to a little 4 corner. Going to run some clock. You know, they're out of timeout, so they have to be very careful about what they do.
You can't get trapped and hope to bail yourself out by calling a timeout now.
No.
Boy, again, Kaiser has to pick himself off the deck, and he's hurt, in fact. We have a whistle out front, and the foul is going to be charged. And that is Kaiser again. Boy, he is slow getting up.
Yeah, that's a tough break for him and for Belleville. They need him out there.
He has been battling with his legs, stretching him out during the last couple of timeouts, and that's about the way you got to take Robbie Kaiser off the floor, and that's carry him off. One of the best juniors in the state. 2:30 left. And at the line, Quovadas Harper.
You have Harper up there, and against, in their little delay as they open the court, you have someone who is 6'5", 250 pounds out there handling the ball really with a great deal of guard-like agility.
Harper missed the chance to reach 10 points. His first free throw miss of the game. 5-point ball game for Evanston. Time running out for Belleville West. Jones into the front court. Inside against Harper. And the foul called on Harper, who had quite an animated reaction when the whistle blew.
Yeah, again, that's just smart basketball. J.B. Jones went hard to the basket on that, drew the foul. It's going back to the line. You're scoring with time off the clock, which is always a good thing to do when you trail.
Jones 3 of 4 from the line, 71% on the year. If you saw that graphic, he was only 2 of 10 from the field in this game, and Jones has missed another one. One of the few juniors ever to be named team captain at Belleville West. And he missed them both. Holy smokes. 5-point lead for Evanston. And they can dictate terms now. By the way, we have been told they took Kaiser back to the Belleville locker room. And a foul out front, and this one is on Turner. He gets his 4th. 2:03 remaining. And the turnaround began with Jones on the bench, but I still think it was triggered by that 3 at the buzzer.
Yeah, they're just confidence builders. Tom, when you don't think the ball will go in and then you see something like that, it gives everybody a shot in the arm.
McKinney trying to go 2 for 4 from the line, and he missed another one.
Now both teams are shooting there just real tight at the line.
And they're tight. I think the fatigue has set in as well, because this has been a physical game. Jones inside, no off the glass. McKinney skied for the rebound, collided with Turner, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're not calling a foul. They're simply calling possession for Belleville West.
Not to even be funny, I'm not sure how you could call a foul on that. There was so much contact for so many players. It would have been difficult to single one out for too much.
We're under 2 minutes now in regulation. Austin Brown, and as he brings it up court, he is fouled. And the foul, Joe Gross. He got his 3rd.
Well, one of the many strengths of Evanston is that they have so many players that can handle the ball well. And it just puts a lot of pressure on defense when you're trailing.
And the free throw rims off for Austin Brown, who's 1 of 3 from the line. Take a look at the turnovers. Evanston has done a better job capitalizing on the turnovers than has Belleville West. Free throw no good, and Belleville West gets it down court, but it's intercepted by Hall. And he's fouled. Hall saw the pass coming, broke in front like a defensive back, and intercepted.
I think both teams really need to realize they have plenty of time in this ball game.
Yeah.
There's a minute 41. Right now it's a 2-possession game. You just don't, if you're Belleville, you just don't need to throw the ball up the court and look for that quick of a score.
And at the free throw line, neither team has done a good job down the stretch of hitting clutch free throws. And there's another miss. That's 4 in a row now missed by Austin Brown. And 3 in a row in this quarter right down the stretch. And he makes 1 out of 2. 6-point lead. Still just a 2-possession game. J.B. Jones hands it off now to Turner. Turner rims. Turner gets it back and was fouled taking it down the middle. Now here's where Turner, being a starter last year, pays some benefits for you as well for the Maroons. Because while you certainly are losing your quarterback in Kaiser with that injury, you've got some experience in there.
And the other thing that he does very well, he's a scoring threat, so he's another option that they have.
Well, that one used a lot of iron, but Turner stays perfect at the free throw line. That's, in fact, where he has scored 5 of his 10 points. Make it now 11. He hits 2 clutch ones. 4-point ball game. 1:25 remaining. Ford Carther gets it across the line. Brown will leap it across to Hall. Now McKinney. He almost lost it backcourt. Harper at the circle. He nearly threw it by Hall. And a foul on Joe Gross.
You know, Belleville's done a pretty nice job of scouting and knowing who to put at the free throw line as well. You know, they had several opportunities to foul Harper. He's a pretty good free throw shooter. They waited till it went in a different hand.
Elisha Hall, who'll be headed for Carleton College on a leadership academic scholarship. Free throw is good. Five-point lead. And a free throw here. It's now 6. And Hall with 6. Checking in now for Evanston is Doug Tykus, the 6'2 senior. 1 minute to go. Turner. It's tipped out of bounds by Evanston. It stays Belleville West basketball. 6-point ball game. Driving inside, Arthur Sargent. Shot no good. And Sean McPeak.
Great putback. Great putback.
Timeout called by Belleville. McPeak now the third Maroon with double figures with 11. Of course, balanced scoring has been what has carried the Maroons all the way here to the Elite Eight.
You know, Tom, right now, I think what you said earlier, there's a lot of fatigue out on that court right now. When you're tired, two things happen. You make physical errors. The second thing that happens, and maybe it's the first thing, is you make mental mistakes. Right there, Quavatis Harper did a nice job on defense and just paused for a second, didn't get his body on McPeak. Rebound basket. So it's important. It's important that the kids are thinking as well as doing.
We have been told that Robbie Kaiser, the word from the Belleville West locker room, Robbie Kaiser has an ankle sprain.
Will not foul him, but you got to make him give it up.
Let's take it over to the other huddle.
Start. Mike, you're going to take off. You're the inbound. Got it?
Don't force it. Don't force it, Alex.
If you get it wide open, great. If not, we bring it back out. We go 2 across. If they go man, we go 4 to score. You, and you. Go. Got it. Go.
Tom, you got 1 minute to talk real fast, but they're going to run 4 across on this out-of-bounds play. They're going to tell McKinney he's the flyer. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring everybody up there, make them guard him, and then look to go deep with McKinney. And Coach said to McKinney, if you got an easy one, take it. Otherwise, bring it back.
They are looking for McKinney, and he slams it home.
I don't know if I would define that as an easy one, but he certainly went strong to the basket.
It's out of bounds to Belleville. 6-point game with 40.6 seconds remaining. McPeak will put it in bounds. J.B. Jones hits the shot. He's got 7. 4-point game, 30 seconds to go. Still a ton of time. Hall gets it front court to Brown. They try to spread it out, and a foul in the corner. Ford Carther is fouled, and Dumaka Turner may have just fouled out. Yes, he has. Turner has fouled out, and he leaves the ball game with 11. By the way, we want a special thanks to 3 Fat Guys Pizza in East Peoria. They've been providing lunch for our very hungry crew. That's an understatement. They have great pizza, sandwiches, a whole bunch of appetizers. Again, thanks, 3 Fat Guys Pizza. Free throw is good for Ford Carther.
Who's the third one, Tom? I know you and I are sitting here. Who's that third fat guy?
I'd say it, but the boss is right next to us.
Okay.
20.1 seconds remaining. And the free throw is good. Stolen by McKinney, and he's going to put an exclamation point on this one for Evanston. 6-point game, 7 seconds left. Evanston is going to the semis. It's all over.
What a start, Tom. What a start to this great tournament. You know, those kids left everything on the floor.
And at one point for that team, it didn't look so good when they trailed by 11 with just seconds left in the third quarter when Alex Ford Carther hit that desperation three, and that seemed to signal the wake-up call.
Yeah, you know, just such a
Evanston.
game of ebb and flow, and we saw a flow there.
Let's send it over now to Lee Hall.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot. We're with Paul Prima. Coach, some kind words from you for Coach Schmidt on a hard-fought game.
I've really enjoyed getting to know Coach Schmidt over the last couple days. He's a class act, and I understand why they love him so much at Belleville West. What a solid man. He's going to be their athletic director next year, and that athletic program is going to be in great hands. This Belleville West seems probably the most fundamentally sound team we've seen all year, and that's what gave us so much difficulty early on. They ran their patterns well. They kept within their scheme defensively, and they just showed so much character. McPeak and Jones are just two of the toughest competitors we've seen all year, and they got great contributions from some of their other guys as well.
Didn't look good for you guys in the third quarter. You kind of stole the momentum away, got going a little bit offensively. What changed for you?
You know, I think our character is something that has carried us throughout the year. We just won't quit. And there were times tonight where it really looked dismal. And our kids just kept fighting, kept positive, kept communicating, kept diving, kept deflecting, kept, you know, even in the midst of where it seemed like everything was going against these guys, they hung in there. I'm really proud of the Wildcats. I'm proud of Evanston. I think we represented our community in the best possible way today.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to step back real quick. Mike McKinney is with me here. He is our country insurance player of the game. Pretty physical game out there, huh?
Yeah, it was. You know, we just had to keep fighting and stay with it. Like Coach said, you know, just stay with it and fight. Get on the floor and dive.
Tell me what was going on in the team's psyche when you guys got down there in the third quarter and then were able to make a run and come back.
Well, we've been in this situation before, you know what I'm saying? It was just all about staying with it. And our crowd is a big help, so.
Yeah, you got a couple of flushes there at the end to kind of break it open. That's kind of fun too, huh?
Yeah, it was.
All right, congratulations. What you got to get to take a trophy home. Talk about going to the final round now.
Yeah, we're going to take the championship.
All right, bud. Good luck to you. Mike McKinney, our country insurance player of the game. Tom, back to you.
All right, thank you, Lee. I thought it was very strong praise from Paul Prima about the fundamental soundness of Belleville because they have played some strong people this year. There's the final. Evanston goes to the semis. Let's hear now from your local stations.
One team is already in, Evanston, with the 58-50 win, and they advance to tomorrow's semifinals with the win over Belleville West. A very physical, hard-fought game. Coming up next, it's second-ranked Peoria Central taking on Von Steuben out of the Public League. But first, we are joined by Mike McManus of the Centralia Sentinel. Mike, some big controversy going on in Centralia this year. Coach Rick Moss, who brought the team down here last year, finished third, let go 12 days before the season. I'll let you take the story from there.
After that, Lee, there's really not a whole lot to tell. The board decided to release Coach Moss of his coaching duties. The assistant coach, Chuck Lane, the JV coach for 9 years, was hired in. The team really struggled early, started to put some good things together in the middle part of the year, lost to the Belleville West team people just saw in the regional championship game. We were talking off the air, though, before we started here, and I told you, people in Centralia have a hard time keeping a secret, but they've really been mum on why Coach Moss was let go. This is a man that won 464 ball games in his high school coaching career, and people are really still wondering why, and still no reason's been given.
Well, that was my next question. There was a big article on the paper here in Peoria about Coach Moss getting let go. What kind of things do you hear? There has to be some kind of, I mean, you know, the guy leads a team to third place. Boy, what happens in a year?
Well, it's obviously not about winning, because if it was about winning basketball games, he would still be there. I think there were some things, some personality clashes between Coach Moss. I love the man to death. He's a stubborn guy every once in a while, though, and sometimes his pride gets in the way of some other things. But Coach Moss is very well liked around town. He's kind of a Dallas Cowboy, I guess is the way to explain it. Folks either really like him or they think, you know, they don't. And some things just went against him. I believe just a lot of small things that finally added up. And now here we are with Chuck Lane, who served for this year and has already announced he will probably not be back. In fact, 99.9% he will not be coaching next year.
I'm a Cowboy fan, so I understand that reference very well. Tell me about, there was a meeting this week, I understand. What can you tell us about what went on there?
Well, from what I've been told, and again, everyone's being very quiet, they have put together an exploratory committee. They have posted the position via the internet, that the position is out there and is available. So far, to my knowledge,